This utterly filthy keyboard is my Akai Advance 49. Now I don't know much about this. It appears to have a software suite that goes with it that you run on your digital audio workstation, because it supports a whole raft of them. In here it's got things like Logic, Cubase, Ableton, Fruity Loops, Reaper. You know, these things sound fun, and it's various functionality on it, and I think that allows you to control the DAW quite significantly from the keyboard. I don't really know how useful that is. I was interested in this just as a basic plain MIDI master keyboard, and yeah, it is really dirty, and it might surprise you that I don't know much about it, and that's simply because I found it in a skip when I went to the local council tip to throw away some stuff when moving house. However, there is a problem. There are a couple of problems that I found so far. First of all, the pitch bend and modulation wheels are incredibly dodgy. They're probably just dirty, but the pots in there may need replacing. Also, whilst most of the keyboard... Oh, yeah, I heard some interesting pitch bend there. Anyway, most of the keyboard seems to work. However, these three keys do not. We've got the top off, turned upside down, took out all of these screws, oops, which essentially are all the same type, which leaves a few screws behind. I haven't taken every screw out, so I think some of the rest are holding in the keyboard itself. And yeah. That's lovely, isn't it? I wonder where this has been. Oh man. I mean, this is not very old. There's also some kind of signs of rust there. So it's just been left in a garage or something, hasn't it? Okay, I've hoovered out the Spider Hotel a bit. It's slightly better than it was. And just before I go any further and take things more apart, I've just plugged it back in. Look how cool these lights are. Anyway, just because it did occur to me that it could be something as simple as one of these is loose. So we've given those a good prod, and these three keys still don't do anything. Okay, so this is the keyboard out. So this I was correct. The rest of the screws on the bottom are what hold this in. So I've unplugged it, and yeah. So a couple of things to note. This area of grot down here, that looks like some kind of mould. So I think this has maybe had something spilled in it. Not sure. There's no other evidence of... Actually, I was going to say there's no other evidence of moisture, but I'm just looking on the top panel, and there sure is. So that's going to need a bit of a clean. I've got halfway through this. Well, actually, no, I haven't got halfway through. I've taken out 6 screws. And then what I've realised is that there's 2 boards. So you can just see that there's a gap there. So hence why there's 2 connectors. So one connector from one board, one connector from the other. And so my keys that are not working are, they were this one, wasn't they? So it's C, D and E here. So they are on this board. Okay, well, I think we can probably say that's the problem. That's unpleasant. That doesn't look great. If we peel back, can we peel back this thing? Yeah. Ew. Yeah. So this has definitely had something spilled into it, and I suspect then it's been shoved in a corner, moved in some sort of storage, and then someone's just chucked it away. So the question is, how badly damaged is this? Right, well, to be honest, that doesn't look too bad. So on these pads here, we can see there is some damage. This one's the worst, but I suspect that they're probably still going to work. What I am interested in is this area here that I can't quite focus on. What I have established is that from here, where we have a potentially bit of damaged track, that goes over to there, and I've got continuity from there. I'll tell you what, let's use something a bit more accurate than my finger. So I've got continuity from here to there, right? So that's good. What I don't appear to have is good continuity from here to here. I can't get a reading across there, but I think that must be because these are corroded. So what I'm going to do is wang some more solder on it. Ignoring this big fluxy mess that I've made here, let's just pretend that that looks fine. I think there's been a few issues. So there's been here there was an issue with the track being damaged. Now I've actually now fixed that, believe it or not. I know it looks awful, but let's not worry about that. However, this pad here does not have continuity off to anywhere else, and I can't quite tell. I mean, it is the worst, it's the most damaged pad. So I think that actually there is a break in that track just there. Okay, bit of zoomage, and I'm sorry that this isn't very stable, but yes, we can see that is broken. If we look at this absolutely unacceptable mess, what we can conclude is that I don't have the tools or the skill to do this job properly. However, what I do now have is continuity. So I'm going to put this back together again and see what happens. Something I have just noticed is that this thing needs to go on the right way up, because what you might not be able to tell, let's just see, is that well, you can look at it from the outside, you can see that they're different, but they're different heights. I don't know why, I don't really care, I just need to get it the right way around. So I'm going to have to take a bit more of this off to know which way around to put this. Or I could just look at the video I shot earlier, which has only just occurred to me. So I'm going to do that. Reassembled it. Well, kind of. Reassembled the keyboard, plugged this back in, and now... Hey, 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 hey! I'm happy with that. So now the next thing to tackle is this bit. Yeah, it's kind of working. Maybe it just needed a bit of exercise, but still. Yeah, taking that off was a good call, wasn't it? Okay, well, I've cleaned that up. That's better. I mean, it's still pretty pitted, but this is just some LEDs, so this doesn't actually do anything important. This bit of corrosion on this, but these look fine. I think they just hadn't been used, so I'm not worried about those. What I am going to do, though, I think, is I'm going to take this board off, which is buttons. This is the screen behind here. This is controls, because I don't want to find that there's a load of grot on the other side of this slowly eating it away. So let's take this off and see what it looks like. This is actually quite difficult to get out without taking more of this to pieces. However, a quick peek under here suggests there is a bit of dust, but otherwise it's fine. So I'm not going to go any further. Well, I've put it back together again, and all the lights have come on, and those 3 notes still work. So this thing that I found in a skip was worth rescuing, I think. Yay.